Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. So, guys, we see, wow, something that they said wasn't going to happen. You see an actual tropical storm, Bertha, that formed, and they weren't really expecting this to happen. But, in these times, things change quick, and storms are most definitely getting stronger. Tropical storm Bertha brings heavy winds, potential flooding for Carolinas and Virginia. It made landfall as a tropical storm Wednesday east of Charleston, South Carolina, bringing winds and heavy rain to the region before weakening to a tropical depression. Doesn't seem to have her down. She seems happy there. Wading through the streets. How many times have we seen this now? And it had 50-mile-an-hour winds at landfall. It was a tropical storm for almost 6 hours before weakening to a depression. Incredible rain totals that we're seeing throughout the South, and Miami has had 14 inches of rain. 14 inches. It is saturated. Just think of that. And so the tropical moisture associated with Tropical Storm Bertha is the same moisture that fueled 3 days of record-setting rainfall for Miami and also affected other areas besides that. Incredible. Miami's wettest day in 8 years. Just what we're seeing total-wise, and then the photos that have come out of it. Every area is going to have things to deal with. So how did it form so quickly? Bertha formed from a tropical disturbance we've been tracking since Memorial Day. And, well, as we said, there's so many things going on. And as we've alluded to before, when the magnetosphere declines, everything is going to change as we see tremendous flooding. So heavy rains and damaging tornado hit central Cuba as well. And this flooded low areas of the main cities, forcing evacuations. And there was a tornado with winds up to 75 miles an hour, which left 3 people injured there as well. And, a very common scene we're seeing across the globe. And they got their masks on. And we have over 30,000 affected by flooding, and this is in Indonesia. Another boat going down the main street there. Inundations started from around May 22nd following a period of heavy rain, affecting 4 sub-districts in 14 urban villages in the city. You got 1,671 houses submerged in North Samarinda. Again, just adding to it, and of course, obviously, there's going to be more crop losses along with the personal damage and losing your home. And more people that really are going to need a helping hand. And hailstones are increasing in size. They're getting so large that, they're coming through roofs. It's incredible. It's very biblical, as they say. And when you see some that are 9.3 inches in diameter, this one occurred in Argentina back in 2018. And then there was another one in South Dakota that was supposedly 11 inches in diameter. It's like a meteor going straight through your roof, pretty much. But it's part of the changes that we see. Turkey's eastern provinces hit by disruptive snowstorm and strong winds. And again, it's either record cold or record warmth, record drought, or record flood. The records are what we have a lot of on a daily basis now. Asteroid 2020 KF5 is going to fly by Earth at 0.64 lunar distance on May 28th. There's been quite a few of these. So, that's more than half a lunar distance. It's definitely a close call, but we've seen much, much closer than that. And so this one also is not a very large object, somewhere between 11 and 25 feet. We have a 6.1 shallow quake hitting Vanuatu. No major damage. We've seen unusual seismic activity. We've seen a big increase, I should say, in volcanic activity. And we're still seeing a lot of quakes in the west, in Nevada, and also in California as usual. And you can see these are spreading out a little bit more, and they seem to be kind of working their way southward towards Vegas. So if we just scoot on in here a little bit, you see in this area 304 of 608 earthquakes. So 50% of what the USGS is showing around the globe is happening right over here to the west of Tonopah, still in that area. And I noticed one earlier today that was up around 4.3, so pretty substantial. There's a 4.2, a 3.6. This might have been that one that came in initially at 4.3. So, substantial size, still ongoing, still swarming. Going to really keep an eye on it as it seems to be creeping more southeastward. And if we look, we see there's quite a few quakes happening over in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's getting to be a more and more active area again. All the human activities are adding to all this. And now we see that little line working its way through Yellowstone. We still have a swarm going on in Idaho. A little bit more activity now coming in Washington. And we do have some right here at the corner of the plates, as well as the geysers, still very active as well. So how to see Comet Swan above your house. Look at that spectacular color. Isn't that incredible? I mean, it's like that looks like it's got to be somebody touched it up or something, because can it really be that pretty? Beautiful colors. So Swan is burning brightly over the UK skies this week, and it says, in fact, experts reckon it'll be the brightest comet we'll see in all of 2020. Well, let's hold judgment on that. It's been an active year, and you just don't know what's going to happen next. Look at that one. That's a great image, and beautiful. The comets could be just spectacular, and as we talked about before, a lot of traditions, they're harbingers of ill omen. But let's think of it in a positive term. And, you got to wonder about all the prophecies that we're seeing. And if you have a pair of binoculars, that could greatly help as well. So Comet Swan should be visible in your night sky if you're in the UK. And also, I would venture to guess, also in the U.S. at this point. So, turns out that active object in Jupiter's orbit is a comet in disguise. This is interesting stuff. Astronomers were abuzz last week following the discovery of an active asteroid in Jupiter's orbit and what was thought to be a new type of celestial object. Follow-up investigations have revealed it's a regular comet, albeit one in a misleading orbit. So as Gizmodo reported last week, object 2019 LD2 was initially identified as the first known active Trojan asteroid on account of its comet-like tail. The object was identified by such astronomers from the University of Hawaii's Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, or ATLAS, and a collaborative team from Queen's University Belfast. University of Hawaii issued a correction notice on Tuesday, noting the object has been reclassified as a true comet, but with a chaotically changing orbit, currently resembling that of a Trojan asteroid. So Trojan asteroids are located in the same orbital path as Jupiter, with one big clump in the front and one behind the gas giant. Trojans are inert, dead asteroids showing no signs of surface activity, which is why the apparent discovery of an active Trojan was such a big deal. Active asteroids, although rare, are similar to comets in that they shed volatile surface materials like gas and dust. So, yet another comet. How many is that? Is that 8? Is that 9 now that are in our area? It's very curious. Very, very curious indeed. So we got 8 maps you should have in your bug out bag. And I mean, how many of us actually even own a map? Now, do you have a map? Because we rely so much on our GPSs. We have our phones. We don't need them, right? Well, what happens when the grid goes out? What happens if satellites go down? There's a lot of things that will be going on connected with the magnetosphere's decline. And, this is one of those old school things we should make sure we have. And there's different types of maps as well. City maps, county maps, you have state maps. How about fire road maps, also known as Forest Service maps? Fire road maps show an overview of the fire and the logging roads that snake through national forests and public land. Like a lot of people have it in their mind that they're going to run out to national forests, so this could be very helpful. Topographical maps as well, rather than showing the roads and destinations, they'll show you the area's geography so you know what you're going to be facing when you get there. How about photo maps as well? That could most definitely help, especially when you're in very, very remote areas and needing to find a particular landmark, which could be very probably you guys have faced this as well. I mean, I remember back in the day, here you go, back in the day, I used to love to just get out there and just start driving. This is when I was in Connecticut, just would head towards New York State or upstate Connecticut, Litchfield, the hills, and just start driving. And, this is more like when I was young and still a teenager. And there was no GPS, so, if you didn't have the map on you, you might have to go and stop in and, pull into a gas station, ask somebody for directions, actually ask for directions. And, we're trying to find some particular camping area as well. You got to go down past, this particular tree, and then there's a bend in the road, and then you'll notice this big rock, so photos could definitely help. Hunting maps as well. There you go. Hunting maps show property lines, road closures, and terrain as well. And then river maps as well. Land travel might not be your only bug out option, but if you're planning on taking to the water, you'll certainly want to have river maps available as well. And one thing I always had in mind too was the 10,000 island area in Florida on the southwest coast. I was so thinking it would be just an awesome thing to get a canoe or go out camping with kayaks or canoe and just explore the 10,000 islands. And then obviously you'd want to know, you want to be able to navigate. So guys, thank you so much for your support on Patreon and also on Ko-Fi. That has kept us going and kept us making the videos in the time of obviously tremendous censorship and demonetization. As always, my friends, stay prepared out there. Godspeed to you. Be safe. God bless and namaste.